In this tutorial, we're going to be covering how to deploy ACM in a Hyper-V environment for demonstration purposes. First, we'll need to navigate to the control panel. Navigate to the Programs area and turn Windows features on or off. Scroll down to the Hyper-V section and make sure all of the boxes are checked. From here, go ahead and click OK. System will take a few seconds to gather some files and make some changes to your system. Once this is done, go ahead and click Restart Now. Computer will go ahead and restart. When we come back online, we're going to need to navigate over to the software section of the Avigilon Resource Center, and we're going to download the ACM6 Hyper-V zip file, which is going to contain your image for ACM. Go ahead and locate a folder for this, and go ahead and follow the download. Once the download's completed, you're going to need to extract the zip file into a folder. I'm using the same folder, just a subfolder of where I downloaded the file. You can go ahead and choose any folder on your system that you'd like. Just remember where it's at. Once the files have been extracted, we're going to need to make a change to the system so that we can connect to the system for the first time. So you're going to navigate to your adapter settings for your network, and you're going to find the default Hyper-V adapter, and you're going to want to change the IP address of this adapter to match the 192.168.1 subnet, so anything in that range other than 201, or if you're using that subnet, anything that doesn't match your local area network. Go ahead and click OK. And now we're going to open up Hyper-V. In Hyper-V, the first thing that we need to do is create a bridge between Hyper-V and your local area network. So we're going to click Create Virtual Switch. I'm naming this Bridge to LAN. And then I'm connecting this to an Ethernet adapter on my laptop that is actually physically connected to my network. So I physically have a LAN connection to that. Now you can either use a physically wired connection or a wireless connection, but it does need to be physically connected to the network that you're running this on. Once you've gone ahead and done the new network, go ahead and navigate up to Actions and Import Virtual File. We're going to go ahead and find the folder where we extracted the files to from before. Click Next. Go ahead and leave this default for now. Next. Next again. One more Finish. And now you've imported your Hyper-V. The first thing we do want to check is just make sure that our networks are using that default network for now. Go ahead and click OK. Right click and click Start. ACM is going to start, and you can monitor the start process by double clicking on the console item in the bottom. Watch some scripts come up here. And once we get to this login page, you should be able to open a browser within 10 to 30 seconds or so to actually log into ACM for the first time. So I'm using Chrome. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new window here, and I'm going to navigate to 192.168.1.201, which is the default address for ACM. Click Advanced and then proceed to go past this. And just like any ACM install, we do need to set the initial username and password, which is admin, and then you need to go ahead and change the password upon your first installation. Go ahead and log in using that new password and username. And then we're going to navigate up to the Appliance tab. So in the upper right-hand corner, we're going to go to Appliance. We're going to give our ACM Hyper-V instance a name. We're going to skip hostname for now, but we're going to set the hardware type to Enterprise, name server, which is going to be your DNS server, your time server, and then a time zone. Make sure this matches the time zone of where your ACM appliance is. And then at the end, go ahead and put your host name in. Once you put your host name in, you're going to get a dialog box. Go ahead and click OK. Come down to the bottom, click Save. So you've now registered your ACM appliance for initial use. So we're going to just double check that the services stop and that the system reboots. Once you see the screen go black in the console, you can go back into the Hyper-V Manager, close the console out, and go back into the Hyper-V Manager and open up a new console to make sure that ACM is actually started back up. And you should see down at the bottom of the screen in the console window that it registers as 192.168.1.201. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to re-log in to that IP address, which you can do that by just getting rid of everything other than the .201, accept the end user license agreement, and then we're going to go back to the ports or the access set section, where you can go ahead and set the hardware types that you plan on adding to your system. And then this is very important. You're going to change the IP address to match your local network or a network that you plan on connecting hardware to. So this is my local area network, 172.16.1.x. Go ahead and click save. And this is going to write the IP address to the appliance. After roughly 1 to 2 minutes, you can go ahead and close out of the console. And then we're going to shut down the ACM Hyper-V appliance. And we need to reconnect it to the network that we created at the beginning with the new bridged network to your local area. So you're going to go into settings. You're going to come down to your network interface and change that to, in my case, I chose my bridge to LAN or whatever you named yours. Click OK. And now go ahead and restart ACM by right-clicking and then click Start. Once again, you can follow the console to watch ACM boot up. And once it's fully booted up, you should see the IP address, the new IP address that we set in the appliance down at the bottom of the screen. From here, we can now open up a browser window. We can navigate to our new IP address, and we should be presented with ACM. Go ahead and log in. And now from here, we'll have to license the system, add hardware, and make any configurations that you'd like. But at this point, the system is essentially ready for use.